It took, let me just start off by saying this before I go too deep into everything. A lot of brothers are not here yet. Some of them, I need to hear this. Y'all gave me some pushback on this event. But I'm glad that I went ahead and grind through and I put it together anyway. It's very, very important to me, the reason why I'm here. And like I said, I want to thank you all very much for being here. Let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Gloria Johnson, and everyone calls me Free Me. That's my stage name because I am a freestyle artist. I freestyle poetry and a lot of other things when I'm upset. Yeah, I have that ability to do that. But I have an amazing team here, and I'm going to introduce my team to you. So if you ladies could kind of come out and come in. The majority of my team is family. 98.5% of my team is family, and the other part of my team is also family. They're very, very close and dear to me. I'd first off like to introduce to you Princess. She is my niece-in-law. She is an amazing individual. She's a mother. She's a business owner. She's a decorator. She's an event planner. So if any of you are putting things together and need that person, she's your go-to. I have my niece, LaEmbria, here. She works at the Potter's House. She is a photographer and a videographer. So she is one amazing and talented young lady. So I also have Tasha, who's in the healthcare. She's a nurse. She's a very good friend of mine. She's a mother and an amazing woman altogether. I have Trin, which is her daughter, Trinity. We call her Trin. Trin is a senior in high school, and she is she's just a diamond. Love her. And there's Miss Victoria. Victoria is a graduate, and she will be attending TCC. We have Janila. She is a junior in high school, and she's also on the dance squad, and an amazing young lady she is. We have Ariana behind the camera. Now, let me tell you something about this young lady. She's in the 8th grade, and she already knows how to do filming. She knows how to take pictures, and this is something that she loves to do. The reason that I brought these young ladies here today is because I wanted them to get a glimpse of what real men look like and hear real men conversation, real black men conversation, compared to what they see on TV, compared to what they hear in their music, as well as social media. So they are here today not just to assist me as my team, but also to hear what you brothers really have to say one to another about each other. So, moving on along, talking about the circle of 25. He's not here yet. I called the individual, a very good friend of mine. His name is John. And I told John, I said, John, I want to put together an event. And he said, okay, what else is new? I said, but this event is about the brotherhood. Black men, the root of everything that exists to me as a black woman. I got a lot of pushback from some brothers because they couldn't or wouldn't understand as to why a sister would want to put together an event with all black men. What do you stand to gain from it? I said, I need to hear from the brothers. Who else would be able to explain to me why the system concerning black men is the way that it is? I don't feel that it's unified the way that it should be. I feel that black men are divided, and on each side of where it's divided, it's broken. So you got shattered pieces on both sides of the fence concerning us. As black women, I fight for mine. I stand strong for mine. And I go hard for mine, and I'm grinding constantly that these young black girls and young black women will have a better understanding and respect themselves more than society suspects them, and say that they are more than statistics say they are. But I was concerned about y'all. So I said to myself, who else is better to answer my question than the black man himself? I can get with my sisters all day and we can talk about y'all from sun up to sundown, but that's just our opinions. I need some facts. And it's a whole lot of facts sitting in this room. More than anything, there's a system, there's a union, and there's a movement sitting right here. So with that all being said, that's to tell you a little bit about the Circle of 25. This is the very first one. And depending on how this one goes, I will have another one, and another one, and another one. So I'm going to start on this side of the room, since he wants to sit all by himself. I'm just kidding. I'll start on this side of the room, and then we'll work around the room. And once we get to the very last person, I'll open up with the question, and hopefully you brothers will jump on and we can start talking. Excuse me.
Professionally, I work for GM Financial as an IT vendor manager. I handle all the IT vendors at GM Financial. As you know, GM Financial is a financial background of General Motors. So my job, my team is to make sure that you guys that have finances, finance your vehicles through GM Financial. Our system is to make sure your information is safe and secure. I also am a Big 12 football official. This will be my 7th season if we have one in the Big 12. I also, wife and I own some property. We have 2 properties that we are property owners, property managers, and I'm just now starting to studying for my real estate license. I'm looking forward to learning and maybe networking with some of you brothers today. What's that again? Linden Nixon.
How y'all doing, man? My name is Rodney Brown. I grew up here in the Dallas area. I'm an educator, an entrepreneur, also insurance adjuster, so I'm just happy to be here. Hopefully we have a very good, interesting conversation, and nice to meet everybody.
Name's Ty Ardoin. I am from Beaumont, Texas, but I currently reside in Spring, Texas. I am the owner of the Focus Group Fit, which is a youth mentor and athletic training program in Spring, Texas. So I'm happy to be here, man, amongst my fellow brothers, man. I'm here to be a sponge, actually. I'm just here to be a sponge because I'm going to take your message back to the young men that I work with. The motto of my program is your decisions ultimately determine your destination, and that all comes down to self-accountability. So I'm just trying to get this generation to understand how important and impactful their decision making is. And considering the current state of affairs of the black man in America, we definitely need to make good decisions. We need to make calculated decisions. We need to think about what we say and what we do before we say and we do it. It's not fair that we have to move that way, but it's just the reality in which the world we live in. So considering that's a reality, we have to change the reality in which the way we move. We can't move freely as we would like. So we're free-ish, as I'd say. But you're always free in your mind, man. Always free in your mind. And the first thing that I want to do is touch their mind and make sure they understand how important their decision making is. So man, y'all give it to me and I'm gonna take it back.
My name is Jason Bell. I'm from the great city of Chicago. For the last 10 years, I've been coaching Division I high school basketball. I moved here in 2017. I am an educator like my man to my immediate right. I'm now living in Waco, Texas now.
Good evening, brothers. My name is Dwayne Jackson. I'm a Louisiana native from Monroe, Louisiana. Live in Arlington, Texas right now for like 6 years. I'm a commercial insurance analyst, and basically I investigate insurance cases for entity that I deal with. Definitely want to say it's a pleasure to be invited. Ms. Johnson, I want to thank you. And it's definitely an honor to be among these proud black men. The world don't understand us, but we understand who we are, and we're gonna make the world a better place. And again, thank you for the honor.
How y'all brothers doing? My name is Frank Minicon. I was born in Providence, Rhode Island, so there are black people in Rhode Island. People always ask me. I don't dye my beard. That's another question people ask me. It's just the way God made me. But I do a few different things. I'm in the media area. I have a couple of podcasts where brothers have a lot of conversations about grown folk topics and things that we need to talk about. I love to participate in different events that Gloria puts together, so I appreciate you inviting me here. My profession, I actually work for a criminal justice system. I work for juvenile in Tarrant County. I work in the court division where I have conversations with judges and lawyers and DAs just to make sure that everything is equitable when it comes to things that happen with the criminal justice field, especially as it relates to black and brown children. So that's kind of been my profession for years. I went to school for criminal justice, got my grad degree in it, and I wanted to make sure that I had an impact on that particular field because I know that criminal justice is something that we all have to deal with, especially as melanated people, just the disproportionate contact that we have with the police in the schools, in the community, and all that. And then I also own a publishing company called Melanin Origins, where we publish children's books to ensure that our children have images of black and brown people and they understand the history of the people that did all the things that they did to lead up to where we are now in an environment where we weren't even considered full human beings. So I want to make sure that our children know a little bit more about our history, not just what's fed to them in the schools, because I think that the parents are the first educators. And I think that's my minute, and I'm gonna sit down.
Jerry Tizino, electrical technician from the city of Fort Worth. I'm also an electrical contractor. I'm also an author. I'm a hustler, and I just transferred my hustle from one hustle to a legitimate hustle, and that's what I do, grind it out. I appreciate you for inviting me, and I'm looking forward for just getting fed from this event.
All right. I'm Antoine Broadus. I'm from Fort Worth. I drive trucks for FedEx. I'm a father of 3, and I'm happy to be here amongst brothers. Hopefully we can get some good dialogue going and get an understanding of what's going on with the state of brothers. And I just was happy to be here.
I'm Dr. Lonnie Woods, Esquire. I work on 2 fronts. I'm an attorney. My specialization is real estate and probate. I started out in criminal, but the injustices of the system sickened me so much until I had to relieve myself and get into another sector area. And I do recall being at the University of Texas, where there were a handful of us. We started then trying to get into the newspaper and reach out to the community and let them know that Black Lives Matters. We just felt like the invisible people on the campus there. In addition to that, I am a minister. I did my seminary work after law school. I have a ministry on Tuesday evenings, lewoodsministries.com. From 7 to 8, I deal with matters that relate to the community on a very contemporary basis. We talk about COVID every evening. I speak for about 30 minutes, and those who Zoom in on Facebook, et cetera, have an opportunity to give input. It's very enriching. I encourage you to check that out as well. My contribution to the community thus far is a book that I wrote, and it seems to renew itself every year. It's called It's in the System. I hear that word all the time. Why? Because that's where it matters. Any black person who is not aware of the word system and has not singled it out as the most important focus that they should make is doing themselves an injustice. This book deals with what affects us the most: criminal justice system, the educational system, and I could go further, economic system. And until we understand that we are being controlled by these various systems and to learn how to utilize them to our benefit, we will forever be victims. But it's our time now. And so I would encourage you to purchase this book because it's right on time and it's very good even for young people. I have a 13-year-old, he knows this book because it's important, and I want to take it further. I am truly honored and humbled to be invited to this group. We don't have enough of our brothers coming together. We're always in competition, but we can't ever come together in a unified fashion to do what's best for us. I look forward to the meeting. Thank you.
Oh, sorry I'm late. My name is Ken Celestine from Kansas City, Missouri. Been a friend of this lady here for about 20 years. Very excited to be here, glad to be here, honored to be here amongst all of you good brothers. And not a whole lot to say, but very, very passionate about the brotherhood that we have. We all we got. And during these times, these troubling times that we are in right now, we got to get past a lot of things. I'm sure we all know that. I have my own company by the name of Visionaries Unlimited Group, and I will be doing a brand launch next year. My brand is titled Encryption. Okay, and I trademarked it. I have a logo to go with it, and there's many things that's going to come from that brand because I look at it as a virtual world in my mind as to how I see things moving forward with all of us, me being the engine to push it forward. And what I can tell you is that I trademarked each letter into an acronym that I believe that is who we are, which is elite, natural, citizens of the kingdom, royalty, people of the land, triumphant, indigenous, original, and native. And I'm going to capitalize on that. It's really the whole entire, I would say tagline for my brand is the Esquire Society unleashes the birth of encryption, Legion of Extraordinary Kings. And like I said, I have a logo to go with it. So I'm gonna bounce off of that, man, and do my part to help bring us forward because like my man said here, dude, we facing a battle, man. And we just got to get past this. As I stand right now, I see nothing but kings in this room. And that's only because I know where we're from. I done my homework. I done the research, so can't nobody come in here and tell me different. That's all I'm trying to say. But we're all here because we care. We all got something to say. Everybody's opinion is needed, valued, respected, you name it. And at the end of the day, we straight brothers, man. I don't do beefs. That's for little boys. Kings, we communicate, we collaborate, and we make money together. Egos, that's a cancer to what we're trying to do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, guys, I'm glad to be here. I'm ecstatic. I was in surgery. I'm an orthopedic PA. I've been in surgery since 5 a.m. this morning. And I've been in contact with Gloria, but that was not going to stop me from being here today. My journey, I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I'm a 1992 Olympian in track and field. Me, Quincy Jones, Quincy Watts from California, Michael Johnson, myself, and Butch Reynolds. We brought home the gold on the 4x4 in Barcelona, Spain. I say that because my father, if you had ever had a coach in your life, if you had a good father, my father was me every step of the way. And I gave that medal to my father, and that means a lot to me. My father is 100 years old. He'll be 101 on August 19th this year. So I give my father, I give my father a lot of glory. I had a great father, great parents, and my old man has been there every step of the way. As I was driving here, I told Dad, I said, I'm going through this positive conversation. And I always tell my dad, because he's been through so much, born in 1918, I always get choked up because he knew John Lewis and he knew many others. My father marched across that bridge. I understand about the hard journey. I also retired from the Navy. I retired as a senior chief. If you know anything about the Navy, when you become a chief, it's tough to get there because I don't want to seem like I'm on prejudicing thing, but when you try to cross over from a petty officer to chief, it's a select few. You have to bust your ass to become that. So I made chief. Then it was time for me to make senior chief. It's even harder to make senior chief. It's a select few, as they say. So they wanted me to kiss butt, and I refused to quit kiss butt. And I bust my butt. Admiral Mullins, who signed off on my senior chief documentation, he tell me, this is a white guy told me, don't kiss anybody's ass. When I tell you the journey is tough, the journey is tough. The doctor who I was working with was taking his sweet ass time, excuse my language, because he didn't want me to get here. I hate to say it like that, but there's a lot of powers that be. I am so glad to be here to soak it up like a sponge. I don't care how big you are, what your reputation is, where you come from, social class, money you got, anything. I'm also belong to Alpha Phi Incorporated. AU5 to my heart. There you go. The Divine Nine. The Divine Nine does a lot of great things. You know, it's not just about Alpha or anything else. I also crossed the burning sands, rode that goat if you know about Masonhood. So I've been down that journey a couple times. But all I want to say is that the fight is real. 90% of the people that I work with are Caucasian. When I hear the social class stuff they say in that environment, it's real. All I want to say is I look forward to soaking up a sponge. I also got a company, Speed for One All. I'm currently working on my law degree because I've become a sports agent because I'm tired about black athletes blowing their down money, don't have nothing to show for it. So as I work on that, I got about another year and a half before I complete that from Texas A&M, Texas Wesleyan School of Law. And I look forward to working with you guys. If you have any young athletes, male or female, come see me. I work with Larry Brown, used to play for the Cowboys. Ray Mickens used to play for the Jets. And Roland Morton used to sing and anchor. That's my frat brother. We work very close together. And Gerald Kelly, the comedian out of Atlanta. So all I do is network. I take no credit for nothing. I try to put people on the right track. And I also working on the arbitrators also. So if you need any help from me, take my number. You can find me on all the social media platforms. I'll be more than happy to work with your kids. Anybody who needs help, if you need an agent in the sports field, come see me because we have a great, great positive circle. Thanks for being here.
Me? Oh, Lord. Lord, help me. I've never spoke in front of anybody. So I'll play guitar and piano by ear, but I don't know how to speak in front of people. However, let me take a shot of wine. Oh, what I know about us as a human race is we all. It's not about white, black, grays, blues. We all have each other's backs. This guy right here, man, I've known this guy for a long time. I asked him, why is he inviting me to this spot? And then I looked at you guys and I was kind of like, maybe they're judging me. And I'm a black man as well. Maybe they looked at my skin, my tone, my size, my clothes, my shoes. Maybe you guys are judging me. There's a brother called Brother Lynch, white dude. He said he was very innovative. He said, let's turn them against them. And we've turned against ourselves. And we're judging ourselves. My name is Trinity, and that's all I got to say.
My name is Lonnie Lewis. Just to give y'all a little background about me. I'm originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Moved here in '09 to Fort Worth. Been in the hospice business for around about going on 16 years at this point. And I met this gentleman back in '09 and didn't know where to go, how to do it. Didn't even know who to talk to at one point. Walked in, this guy had a cowboy hat on, some tight jeans. I assumed me personally, I assumed right off the bat, I was like, man, here we go again, another sellout brother. You know what I'm saying, with tight jeans on, cowboy hat, that's what I was thinking. Stereotype, already right off the bat, that's what we do, that's what brothers do all the time. We stereotype against each other. So, but when I got to know him, he was the first brother that gave me an opportunity, because it was other people that were in position, black folk that was in position. I could see whether you didn't have, you're not in position or even have the authority or even the power to give you business or even help you out, but there were people who were. But this brother did back, and so I kept in touch with him for all these years, and he introduced me to a gang of people that I was marketing to, and then I came across this sister over here, Gloria over here, and then I met Tasha at the same time I met him. And Gloria had a little static with her, you know, because she's real, you know, hey, you're going to have to prove to me, you know, y'all do something. So, but anyway, Gloria, I appreciate you inviting me. It's been a long time coming. This brother right here, I'm sorry, but I forgot your name. Derek, yes. These two right here, they used to have the events in Dallas. I enjoyed coming to them. It was a voice for me to get up on the mic and speak my mind or whatever, and I appreciate you still doing your thing and hustling, because everybody in here is in the same hustle and we're doing the same thing. So I appreciate you continuing doing what you're doing, even if it's on the internet or doing whatever y'all do. So I appreciate you inviting me. And I had to get this cat out. I said, man, you need to broaden your horizons. So this is his first time here, so maybe he'll come to more when y'all are able to do more. So thank you.
All right, I'm Charles Boyd. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, born and raised. Mick Gloria, thank you for inviting me to the event. Appreciate you. So, been on Gloria for a little bit now. We just like yourself, you just come to some of the events and gave you an opportunity to speak your mind and gave you a platform to talk about, you know, whatever it is you want to speak on, right? Great conversation to piece off. We're really looking forward to this event, especially being a lot of just black men being here. Reason being is because what I do in my everyday life, I service a community that a lot of people will say disenfranchised, and I think a lot of people in that community feel disenfranchised. So with that, I think this is the very reason, or the very thing that we need rather, to really empower people like us, people of color, black men, people who have a voice. As Gloria mentioned earlier, that the very backbone of this society, right? So I think this is just an opportunity for me to come out, voice, and share what I think about, you know, what I feel is going on in today's society. So with that, I'm a banker. I didn't tell you what I do. I'm a banker. I'm a manager of the bank. Been doing that for a while. I also have a podcast that I do, which comes on every day, but on a live network, but on a podcast, of course, you can listen to it whenever. But it's called On Point with Charles Boyd. If you want to Google it, it comes up. You know, I appreciate the support. So other than that, I'm just looking forward to hanging out with you guys and, you know, sharing our minds. Appreciate it. You know, that's the first question I always get. I work at the bank, I get a loan.
Man, I'm just glad to be here with you brothers today. My name is Keith Miller. I'm from Dallas. Just my cousin Gloria invited me here. I'm always supporting her. She knows that. So when I get the invite, she know I'm showing up on time every time. So just showing love to her, and just you brothers just for, all showing up. You know what I'm saying? First of all, it's just get in the car, drive here, show up. That's the first key. So the business I'm in the insurance business. I'm a specialty, what they call a specialty, specialized adjuster in residential. So a lot of the properties I deal with are like on the islands, Guam, Puerto Rico, Dominican, Virgin Islands, stuff like that. So, I've always been an entrepreneur. The neighborhood I grew up in Oak Cliff, everybody I knew had their own business. It was a detail shop, little corner store, whatever. So I've always been that dude that had a little small business going. I fell asleep at the wheel for a while, sat in a meeting, looked around the room, I'm the only brother in there. So not only do I have a burden of operating and being professional and for the brothers that's coming behind me, that some days want to get this job, it's just the fact that I know there's got to be a bad system in place for one brother to be in this unit when there should be other brothers sitting around here and sisters. So I'm back to getting back on that entrepreneurial horse, trying to get back into owning my own business, to not only just make money and do all the things I want to do, but help the next brother or sister out to get to maybe to a level where they want to be an entrepreneur. So that's what I want to be. And I'm just glad to be here. I appreciate you brothers and sisters for showing up. Appreciate it.
All right, good afternoon, brothers. My name is Andre. First, before I get started, I want to applaud Gloria for putting this together. I've been knowing her for a very long time, because she's my sister. But my name is Andre L. I am the director for Tarrant County's reentry. So I oversee all programs and operations for individuals coming home from prison and jail. So we do a lot of good work working with the city leaders, working with our commissioners, our mayors, for us coming up with and creating ideas and opportunities to help individuals advance and help them in their transition. In addition to that, I do trainings for different companies and organizations. I travel and provide trainings on building effective relationships. I will be the voice on the documentary, The G Era. So when y'all hear that, you're gonna hear this voice. Remember this pretty face. So you're gonna hear that. So remember that voice, so go with it. So I'm excited about that. And it's gonna be directed by Jerry Tizino. And so I'm excited about that. 2 weeks ago, I just got married. So that's another good thing that I'm excited about as well. And that's one of the main things I do is provide. I know it's a lot of different things I said that I do, but it all mainstream with the serving people. That's where it's at for me. I can't get away from. There's other things I can do. I'm educated in other areas, but I've accepted the fact that I am a servant. Not a servant and you need some coffee, not that type of stuff. I'm a servant. I create opportunities and ideas to help people advance. That's where it's at for me. And in November, I'll be establishing a house of worship. It'll be called the House of Remnant. So I hope you guys will get a chance to hear that and come out and check us out sometime.
Oh, you? No. All right, brother. Hey, brother, man, it's amazing to be here. How y'all doing, brother?
All right.
Yeah. I'm Jeff Holland, owner of Holland Transports. I'm amazed right now, to see all the unity. And this is what we've been lacking the whole time. That's why it was a law against it. You know what I'm saying? That the Jim Crow, that they didn't want this to happen. But not only am I amazed, but I'm a black father, single father. And my main job is to make sure that he has to keep. See, I done did enough messing up for both of us. I went down the wrong road. You know that guy y'all seen, back in the day, like, man, I don't know about him. That was me. I was that dude, But I made this transition. I was allowed to change it over. I was allowed a second chance. But the vision that they have in place, the system that they have set in place for us, we on the hunt. Anything that we put our minds to and our hearts in, we accomplish it. We can. We the greatest at everything, from golf to you name it. We at the top. But they keep your mind divided and hating on the next brother, don't want him to have more than what you have, and keep us divided. And then, like he just said earlier, prejudgment. You automatically have a negative mindset as soon as you see him. I don't know, doubt off top. But man, I'm honored to be here. And I'm soaking it up so I can spread it on, give it to somebody else. And we got a long job ahead of us, y'all. We got to save our young men.
Say, brother, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Who created that song that they created, that they made money off of?
Who created that song?
That song.
What song?
Any song. Who created that song? Who created that song that they actually made money off of and we didn't get nothing off of?
I don't know, maybe you can enlighten me on it.
Shit, you name any song and they did it, and they got it, and we didn't. And you out. OWT, not OUT.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. First, I want to say thank you to Gloria, as well as my brother over there, Jared Tizino, for inviting me. Man, I too am privileged to be in a room with so many distinguished gentlemen. Thank y'all, man, for just listening real quick. My name is Pastor Rodney McIntosh. Yes, I'm a pastor. I too, man, used to be a hustler, used to hustle with that guy over there as well as this one in front of me, man. We did a lot of damage, but I'm here now to try to repair. Man, the damage that we've done. Not only am I a pastor, I'm the proud owner of McIntosh HVAC Services on my own company, but I'm also the project manager for VIP Fort Worth for Gun Violence Intervention Program. Because I believe, man, at some point we got to try to get these guns out of our sons' hands and put some wisdom into it, man, so we can have a generation that we can look at and say we're proud of. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to say, man, thank you for inviting me, Gloria, and to my brother here, Jared Trezino. And I'm a truck driver. I'm an artist. I got little things that I do. I'm working with my brother on Speak Your Mind Productions, and I'm just here to pretty much soak up knowledge and try and give knowledge, and just enjoy the experience, man. I'm glad to be here with a bunch of strong brothers, and hopefully I can get and gain something from it. Appreciate you.
I'm Derek Simmons from Fort Worth, Texas. So, I have a sound, audio, and visual company. I've been doing it for like 26 years for myself. Started out, just transitioned. I also have a marketing firm called 5 Star Media and Production, and we just connect you to your target market. So whatever you have, that's what we just do, is make sure you connect to your target market. On the AV side, anything from small jobs, big jobs, we just make sure it happen. Community-wise, I've been, just activists trying to, bring everything together, listen to different mindsets, make it all gel. Gloria here once again. Everybody else gave her accolades. I like to give her accolades as well. We combined and did what we called a Freedom Speak. She asked me to be a part of that. We done some of those speak, and so we just took it from there. And so that's why I'm here. I'm here to soak up and see what we can add.
How everybody doing today? I want to thank Ms. Gloria. I want to thank my mentor who's not here. His name is John Ewan. My name is Saeed Kendrick. I'm originally from New York. Of course, got this Jets thing on, but I'm here and I'm just happy to be here. I'm blessed to be here. I'll give you guys like a little bit of my background. I'm raw with mine. I did 17 and a half years in prison. I did almost everything in the streets. I went to jail, man, God saved my life. I became a minister. I moved out here to Texas. I joined the Tory program. Right now, I'm a minister in training at the Potter's House. I got married to my beautiful wife, and I started off as a cook, chef, and while there, inside other people's establishments, while I was there, I created my own menu. I talked with the CEOs, CFOs, the higher-ups. I actually created a program in there for young and upcoming cooks in there, which inspired myself. So I left their establishment and created my own. And with the help of my mentor, John Ewan, I came up and created my own business called Fries the Limit. It's a food truck right now, but I'm just blessed, happy, you know, and just grateful for all the things that God has done for me. Because, you know, it's cute now how I listen to all these guys say that they're from the bottom, but it's different. You know, like you could tell who from the bottom. You know, guys get $1 million advances in the hip hop game, but you find them in crack hotels robbing dudes. I'm from the bottom. Like, you ain't gotta give me $1 million advance. Give me 20 racks, I'm gonna show you what to do. And God gave me a chance, and here we go. So I thank you guys, I thank you, and I'm just happy to be here.
How's it going? It's nice to meet you guys. I'm Damian Henderson out of Fort Worth, Texas. I've been knowing Gloria a long time. Professional groomer now in Arlington. It's opened up so many doors. I've been able to establish a few businesses through my craft. I've been using my platform to enlighten other individuals like myself. I grew up out of Eastwood, Texas. I don't know if y'all know where that is, but it's right next door to Stop 6. So yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah. So I appreciate my friend for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
How long is it gonna take for you to get your neck off my? How long is it gonna take for you to take these chains off my hands? How long is it gonna take you to realize that it's not the white man that put all these beatings on my back? How long is it gonna take you to understand that the land that I stand on, man, they keep telling me that I can't own it. And it ain't coming from nobody but those that look like me, that think like me, that perceive like me, that have been through the exact same thing that I have gone through. But when they look at me, they forget that them Negroes is black too. How long do I have to persevere by myself and you doing what I do? How long do you make stew and lassos to put around my neck and camouflage it to say that the white man did it, but the reality of it is it's a black man's hands on my neck that won't let me come up? How long are you going to try to make me to understand you're going to blame the sisters and statistic in the system when the reality of it is I came to you before the numbers started even going up? I asked you to help me be a better me. I asked you to help me with this plan that was in my hand that I started writing when I was locked up. But I couldn't even get a letter in the mail to say, man, I can't wait for you to come through. I can't wait for you to get out for us to do great things because you thought you was better than me because you got a brand new pair of $3,000 Gucci shoes, $400 watch. You rolling in your Porsche drop top. You're no longer in the hood, so now the hood has nothing to do with you, but the reality of it is you are who you are because of where you come from. Can you help a brother out? I love each and every one of you. I randomly picked you. Some of you I didn't even know until today. Let me fix my clothes. Standing in front of all these fine black men. Where's the balance in this room? There's not one brother in this room broke. Every black man in this room is successful. Every black man in this room is powerful. Every black man has the ability not to disrespect me when I'm speaking. So, with everything being said, we are going to move forward, and I'm going to allow everybody to speak like you speak. This is not a censored room, so tell it like you feel. I do ask that you respect what other people are saying. You don't have to agree with them, but you do have to respect them. So with that being said, my first question to you, brother, is why is the system between black men, no other race, why is the system between you brothers broken? And I'll let y'all have at it. Have at it. I said, why is the system, why is the system between black men broken?
Just for clarity purposes, when you say between black men, you mean relationships between each other, right?
I mean relationships between each other, and I mean the brotherhood. To give you an image in your mind, I'll put it to you this way. You have two sides of the world. Straight down the middle is a crack. It's been divided. But on both sides, as to where it's been divided, it's broken. So that's the reason, because it's broken on both sides, so therefore that's the reason that the crack in the middle can't be fixed. So why is that? Have at it.
Everybody has Google and phones. Everybody has been looking down at their phones, Googling and Facebooking, my facing, and Spacebooking. Willie Lynch said we need to actually turn the brother, the house nigger, against the field nigger. So when you turn the house nigger against the field nigger, and I look at this nigga and this motherfucker right here, now we got a situation.
What's the solution though? That's what
Willie Lynch was the solution to actual segregation.
You know, today, the question today is
how do we get there?
Are we still separated today?
Dude, I mean, you're looking at a long road. You're looking at, if you dig a ditch for a motherfucker for a long time, you've been digging a ditch for me for a long time, and there's no reparation. Now we got a situation.
One of the things that I think is powerful with those word brotherhood is that we come from the hood, most of us. And in the hood, it's hard to trust each other because everybody's trying to make it. And I think that has had a very strong impact on us because we have a hard time trusting each other because most of us come from the hood. And so I think that's kind of the root of it. And so we as brothers today, I think I've been hearing a lot of people talking about dialogue. You have to have dialogue. And this is the dialogue that we need. We need to see each other, face to face and have these conversations so I can see my brother's facial expressions when he talks about certain things. That I can see this brother is genuine. This brother is real. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is like the number one thing that you started today, just this dialogue, because most of us do come from a hood. We come from places where we were taught not to trust each other. So I think brotherhood is important.
We were never taught cohesiveness, work together. You may be trying to go this way and I'm trying to go this way. We were never taught to, okay, if I help you get here, when you get there, come back and help me go left. We were never taught that. It's always competition. Every day you get up, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to build this. But a lot of times it's like, okay, why are you building this? are you building this because there's a certain status level you're trying to attain, or are you trying to get so far away from the hood that you come from that you completely diminish the whole hood experience, or what's the purpose for it? So I just think it's competition. We just compete. Every day you wake up, you grind it, you competing. We were never taught to work together.
Don't you guys feel that in the process, and everyone, whoever wants to speak, you can raise your hand, you can stand up, you can, speak from wherever you're sitting. But don't you feel at some point when you do learn that you have a responsibility to go back and save your brothers? Why do you not?
Everybody, I live for myself. Like my man from New York over here, I'm from Chicago. So growing up, your mental is survival, right? So where I'm from the South Side, with that divided line, you either a gangster disciple or a Blackstone. Your family is a part of it. That side of the tracks, you gotta make it home, right? So mentally growing up, you gotta survive that. You get past that gap, you might go to college, right? There are some things now, education they have, it's called first generation college students. That means you're the first person out your family to go to school, so got the scholarship for that. But back to the situation at hand. Once you get out of that mindset, I survived, I can live anywhere. So I took that as myself, saying, I'm from Chicago, I can move anywhere. So now, to bring this brother up, I gotta engage to see where he stands with me, how minds are alike. So if his mind not like mine, then I may or may not deal with him. But in all this room right here, we all got something in common. So with that being said, how am I gonna gravitate to this brother, and this brother, and make this all one? But first, I gotta see where they stand at first. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think that real quick, one of the problems is, my brother said it right here, is the system, right? We are part of this system, we're a part of this American system, and our history was interrupted, you know what I'm saying? Like our history of being African kings, queens, nations, tribes was interrupted, right? So in my opinion, the reason why it's so hard for us to come together is because we're taking on the characteristics of our oppressor. So we must have a historical context of what we were originally as a people way before all of this system shit was even created. This was created, this structure, this system was created for our demise, right? So what, to me, what we have to do is we have to be familiar with what it was before it was interrupted, right? We have to educate ourselves, we have to become knowledgeable of that, coming to the original characteristics of our people, not the people that are growing up in this system. You know what I mean? Because if we get back to that and we understand that we were a tribe, we were a community, we were a society that embraced everyone, you know what I'm saying? We don't, to me, black people, Asiatic people are from God, you know what I'm saying? We are gods. So we have this mindset of the collective. I mean, I'm not trying to point fingers or nothing like that, but it's that mentality of the people who interrupted, you know what I'm saying, our society that created all of this. So they created it for separation for their own gain. I've always said that segregation was better for us. You know what I'm saying? Integration didn't benefit us. Integration did not benefit us. So we need to be able to come together, and then we need to teach the generations coming up that this is the characteristics of our people. We are a people, we are a community, and we are God's people. God did not create all of us individually for us to be separated. We were supposed to come together and embrace our people and forward our total collective. That's just my opinion.
Gloria, can I make a request? Trying to get to know the brothers. If they could give their name before they give their comment, I'd appreciate it. That way I can get to know them along with their comments.
Right. All right, Ty Ardwan. So, man, just piggybacking off of everything my friend said, you said, but especially off of what you said, I think that yes, absolutely. When they said we the people, we weren't included. Of course we weren't included. If they had to make amendments to the Constitution, Of course, we were not intended to be included in the initial Constitution, right? So I bring it back. I bring it back to the beginning, and the beginning is, why are you here? All the kids that I work with, I always bring it back to, why are you here? What's your purpose? So then we're gonna tie it into your decisions ultimately determine your destination. Well, how is it that your decisions ultimately determine your destination? You gotta bring it back to self. You gotta figure out who you are. And when you figure out who you are, well, first off, it's gonna take a long time to find out who you are. And we all need to understand that we've been conditioned. You've been conditioned since day one. Since you came out of the womb, you've been conditioned. You took on your parents' belief systems, your parents' values, your parents' this, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, everybody's values, right? Then you went to church, and all the elders in the church gave you their values. They conditioned you with their values. Then they tell you, whether you believe it or not, radio programming and TV programming. They're telling you that they're programming you. Well, all right then. Well, at what point do you say, okay, well, I'm gonna become aware of my surroundings and aware of the system that I'm in? And I was telling Dog, man, if you haven't read The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson, you better read it. I was going through something, I was going through a little trauma in my life, maybe 2012, 13. And this book there was only one book in my house, and it seemed like no matter where I went, in the bathroom, the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, this book for some reason kept sitting in my face. The Miseducation of the Negro. Understand that you are conditioned. Understand you've been conditioned from jump. They continue to condition you. And then when you finally wake up to the conditioning, now you got to figure out, well, who am I originally? And once you start seeking yourself, you have to seek your culture and understand that they separated us from our culture. Now you're getting closer to you. First, you have to seek your culture first. Your culture is one small part of who you are, only a small part of it. But you originally have to get back to originally who you are and who you were supposed to be. That's a lifelong journey, and on that journey, we'll become closer, but you have to become aware of it first.
Well, one of the things I look at is, in my opinion, for me being engaged with individuals on a regular, Andre L. One, I do agree with you, brother. I think the W.E. Board has said the worst thing he ever did was when he fought for the Brown versus Board, because integration was the worst thing that happened to us. I work with people from all walks of life, and I have no problem really with no one, but I think we would have had a voice, and we would have been a more powerful nation that you have to deal with, because they don't have to deal with us, but you have to sit down at the table with a Coca-Cola. You got to sit down at the table with an MGM. You ain't got to sit down at the table with none of us. See, but that's not what I was going to talk about. What I was going to say is this. I think the situation we have is a love problem. And I'm not talking about love in the sense of feelings. When I look at it biblical and it says that love your neighbor as you're supposed to love yourself, God don't move on emotions, on feelings, right? That love is synonym to commitment, to be locked in, to be confined, to be bound, emotionally and intellectually to a course of action. That's commitment, to be committed, to be locked in, right? So I'm saying that to say this. We're not committed to each other. We're not confined to each other because we have no relationship with each other. A relationship is to be connected by a common bond, a common assignment. I got mine and my foe and no more. I'm gonna handle the people I come into contact with, right? Well, Jay said it best. He said, if everybody else around you broke and you don't want rich, you broke. So my thing is this. Will this be a one-time thing? And will we develop real relationships? This is the key I'm telling you guys when I'm talking about relationship building. If we allow our like to interfere with our love, you see? Because your romance and the feelings come from liking. We were never ordered or commanded to like each other. We were commanded to love each other. There's a lot of people I work with, they don't know I don't like them because I love them.
My like is my preference, man. I don't like how you handle old boy. I don't like how you handle this. I don't like how you talk to her like that. I got my right to not like you. Right? It's my right. And don't try to make me like you. I don't like your personality. I don't like you. But the thing is, you will never know I don't like you. Because I love you. And I'm going to say this, and the reason why. In football, when I was in tour days, you had guys coming from everywhere. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. You had Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, atheists. Right? It's all kind of fights in tour days. But when I see you in that gym and you grinding like I'm grinding for the championship, you start building that bond. You start building a relationship. Now I don't even care you Muslim. I don't even care you atheist. Like, we still hanging out. We still good. Why? Because we got a common bond. And now our like don't even matter. This is why it says love covers a multitude, man. If you really committed to me, then show your commitment. You heard that phrase before, show me I love you, let me count the ways. Yeah, if you really commit, you really love me, man, show me. Show me how you really committed to a brother. That's why I say I'm a servant. I create opportunity to help people advance. I'm tattooed and scarred up. You ain't gonna miss me with nothing but murder. But I serve. Why? Because I really love this dude. I sit and I hear some of the grimiest things. I done heard dudes tell me how they done killed their mama, man. How they done raped their babies. And I gotta sit there and still love you. I don't like that. But I'm committed. If I allow my light to get in the way, I'll withhold resources from that man. If I allow my light to get in the way, I won't call you and help you out. Because I don't like what you told me and what you did while you did 40 years. So I don't like it, but I love him. And I operate out of my love. And that's why I believe one of the things that's gonna help us, man, if we really, you get out your emotions, you get out your feelings. You ain't gotta like me, man. At the end of the day, you may like me, but don't start out trying to like me. Just love me. We'll be good.
I think Ken had something. Ken, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I definitely got to piggyback off of what he said and what all the other brothers said. I think at the end of the day, we don't protect each other. And like what you said, in order to protect each other, you got to love each other. Well, how do you love each other? That means that you got to educate yourselves on who we are. Now, all of our artifacts, our history and all of that's been erased, fabricated, distorted, destroyed, and it's never been put in schools. So how the hell are we going to know each other? So what I did, I took the time out and I went and re-educated myself on exactly who we are. That's why I said in the beginning, hey man, we ain't nothing but kings. I don't have to know you. We're melanated. I mean, the melanin in our skin, man, ain't nothing but a superpower, which is what they hate. We hold the genetics to eternal youth, another superpower. The blood in our skin, 1/32 seconds of our blood wipes out anybody on the planet, another superpower. The black woman is the mother of everybody on the planet, period. She has a gene inside of her called the Eve gene that mutates with all kind of stuff that can make white. No other human being can make melanated people, but we can. So what I mean is we're superheroes in my eyes. We just don't know we are. And if we knew we are, it goes back to what you said, we would know how to love each other. But they know. The people that run this world, they know. But we don't know. And so it's not our fault. But what we got to do, let me just go back and say, what I don't think we want to do is accept the responsibility. Because knowing that comes with a sacrifice so that you can take action on what and who you need to protect. Because we're not leaving nothing for the people behind us coming up. And we are not economically strong. What I mean by that is, yeah, we got our billionaires. We got Oprah, we got Bob Johnson, we got Robert F. Smith, we got Diddy, Jay-Z, Mayweather, all of these folks. But why is it that none of them have come together to re-strengthen, bring back that Black Wall Street, that Rosewood, all these communities that were destroyed because we were thriving? So I'm just coming off of what I went and learned myself and all of that. That's why I say, like you said, see, the thing is, we have to understand what the goal is. I ain't got to know you for 5 years, but if we understand the goal, that's what we're going to shoot for. So like my boy, Dr. Umar Johnson said, 5,000 black people, well organized, could totally change the game. Hard for us to do, but yet so simple to think about. What we have to do is be strategic. Got to be very strategic and present nothing but countermeasures to the systems that we are already born into. This system is already set up. We know that. Okay, so what are we going to do? They know what we're not going to do because they've set it up that way. But, so when you got people like Bill Cosby, you know, my brother, who says do this and do that, I know what he's saying. So just like when him and Michael Eric Dyson went against each other, okay, fine, but don't do that in the eyes in the eyes of the world, because what they see is they can infiltrate us, they can dominate us that way because they know the beat to our emotions. That's how they get us on social media. We deal our hands to them. Stealth mode is the way you got to move.
That's right.
And I'm trying to practice what I preach. I ain't trying to say because I'm there. No, I'm not there.
Before they even know about it, we 10,000 strong.
Yeah. See, the thing about it is, you mess with one, you got to mess with everybody in the room. There's 27 people on the end of that phone call. 27,000 people on the end of that phone call. If they mess with you, they got to mess with all of us. But we gotta be in stealth mode because we already know the systems that we're born into. This system ain't set up for us. The judicial system is so corrupt it don't make any sense. And when you look at the Constitution, you gotta look at the code words in there. There's code words in there that describe who the hell we are. But we don't know. There's really two constitutions. You got 1 through 12, you got 13 through 15. 13 through 15 is about us. You got the ending of slavery under the 14th Amendment, but it takes 2/3 of a vote to ratify that, and they didn't really complete that. So when people think that we are citizens, yeah, we're more than citizens. We are the superior beings, but they've set that shit up so that we won't know that. And that's why we are where we are. We don't know who we are. But to this day, a lot of us don't want to take the time out to go and try to learn that stuff. I get it. But once I got a little taste of it, I couldn't turn the button off. It was that fascinating to me. That's why I say we ain't nothing but kings. I don't care if you don't believe it. I know who you are. I'll wait till you get to where I am. Meaning that you're a king, but if you don't know it, it ain't nothing to feel bad about. We're all in the same boat. All I can do is just say, hey, this is what I learned. This is what I found out. Because I'm not above nobody. I'm walking right beside you because I know who the hell we are, man. Period. You know, we, like I said, we are the mothers and fathers of civilization. This land is ours. And let me just so you won't think I'm talking shit. Let me just tell you a little bit of what I learned. The land that we own right now, North America, it ain't North America, it's Morocco. It's Morocco, due to the Moors, kings and queens, that invaded Europe, 711 BC. So in order to know where you're going, you gotta know where you've been. Like I said, once I got this tip years ago, I couldn't turn the button off. That's why I'm so fascinated with it. We created everything. Hockey is ours. You name it, everything is ours. But they took it. So how the hell are we supposed to know who we are? So what we're going through right now is a given. The question is how we're gonna come out of it. They destroyed Black Wall Street when we tried to do the right thing. They bombed it from the sky, killed all these people, not to mention all these other areas, you know, throughout the United States. And these people even thought that the world was flat. We circumnavigated the goddamn globe because they thought if they go too far out into the ocean, they're gonna drop. So, come on, man. It's gonna be a long road, but I'm just saying that it can be done. We just gotta remove the hate. And what I mean is we don't have to be best friends. Do we or do we not protect our culture? That comes with a sacrifice. If, you know, I hate to say it, man, but sometimes you gotta have that too. I'm gonna die for my people.
Derek?
I definitely agree with our brother. My name is Derek Simmons again. I don't really see us as having a problem as far as the divided line. I think our whys are totally different. And so we need to embrace who you are. And you may not run with this particular dude, you know, or you may not run with this particular dude because y'all ain't in the same category, you know, and so we can embrace each other's uniqueness. You know, your agenda is different from my agenda. That's why I'm not clicking with you. So you may look at it like I don't love you. That's not my agenda. I'm not going down there and do that. And to really embrace it and to be like that, I think that's where will allow us to enhance it. I don't look at it as being broke. I mean, because we here, so it's obvious that we can do it. I got homeboys that I've been down with, you know, from the streets and still down with now. So we can do it, you know, like even Dr. Woods, you know, he's a lawyer, you know, so I don't feel that we have I think it's knowing your lane and understanding your why and embracing your why and saying, okay, me and you may not never click like that. We got two different agendas. But just because my agenda and your agenda is different, don't mean that yours is more important than mine is more important. I just got to embrace your agenda and let you run with that agenda, and we have a collective agenda and say, okay, as a whole, this is what we're doing collectively, but individually, this is what we're doing. And I think we get caught up in the big goal so much that individually we never get nowhere. I done been to these meetings, man, since back in the 90s. We had the same thing, we say the same thing, and we break. Only thing we do is a lot of huddles. And to me, you know, that's all. The game is not about a huddle. You know, when you playing football or something, you don't want to just huddle all the time and you never score. And that's what I'm seeing. I see we do a whole bunch of huddling. We come together and we huddle and we say, okay, what we going? But then it's no plan of action because we all got different agendas and we can link with one another through agendas. You know, I may not want to kill nobody, but I keep killers on my team so they can do dirty work. Now you may look at me and say, well, D, you wrong for that. But if I need something to be done, they'll do it. My conscience won't allow me to do that. You see, and that's the same thing because we're not at the same space consciously. I think sometimes that hinder the movement because one person may say, thou should not kill. The other person will say, nah, we don't need this. Well, that was one of the reasons why they was able to come in and bomb like that because we operating from that thou shalt not kill. But I think if we look at the agenda and say, okay, we may need a whole army. I'm not going to spearhead that army, but we got to have some people that we can have as an army and say, they will kill you if you come. You see, then we got a whole praying team. We got a financial advisors. We got all this. So I think we ought to see the agenda and kind of move collectively, but still individually as well.
I'm going to move on to something else, if you don't mind. How many of you in here are Greek? How many of you have ever been in a gang associated of any type? That's a brotherhood. And in that brotherhood, Kappas and Omegas are not the same. Alphas and Sigmas are not the same. Bloods and Crips are not the same. Vice Lords and other gangs, they're not the same. But when there is something going on in the community or there's some type of Greek show, you see them all there because they're coming to serve a purpose. I hear black men talk about Black Wall Street all the time. Do you really understand what Black Wall Street is? Black Wall Street is different agendas built together to make money for the black community. So when I hear you talk about who you are, what you do, what you not gonna do, how you gonna provide for the Black Wall Street? Because regardless of what you do, the reality of it is it's about money. I don't trust you with my money. And we can be homeboys. We can ride. You need me to knock something off the block, come through and air something out, I'm on my way. But you gonna talk about ass for $10, $15, $20,000, we got a problem, Doc. I don't trust you like that. Your track history is bad. But you can't help me fix it. You can't put me on game. So there's enough money in this room right here to start a Wall Street right here in Dallas, in Fort Worth, Texas. But the reality of it is, though none of y'all know each other well enough to put your money on the table. Why don't you? That's my question. Why? Right here, brother.
Sorry, Kendrick. I'm kind of pushed back right now, cause even though like the question was wiped off the table, I love what you said. Matter of fact, I love what everybody said. But the question that's on the table right now is kind of like it's kind of like my expertise. You know, I told you that I did 17 and a half years in prison, but I didn't tell you why. You know, I was a gang leader in New York. You know, it was a blood set called Gangsta Killer Bloods. And I ran that set for a large part of my life. And the thing about it is that when you do the history on the gang culture and why it was part of J. Edgar Hoover's whole design to destroy it, they paint the picture. Now, by no means am I glorifying it because it's all jacked up to this very day. But when you look at the system, like you said, brother, the system, when you look at the system that is founded on, when even O.J. Simpson was part of a gang. He was part of the Gladiators. Barry White was part of the Slauson Boys. So when you look at it, like they had Gladiators, former Slauson Boys, Brims, and I forget the other one, but they called the Five Families. Each of them was structured like you said, like one was a killer, one was an agricultural gang. But you never hear about these gangs though. They was gang members that grew gardens and farms, you know what I mean? So if you was poor, broke, and broke down, that you would go to them and that they would feed you, but you don't hear about them though. Then they had other gangs that did other things, like if an old lady couldn't go grocery shopping, that they would take her money and go to the store, buy groceries, bring it back. So now when you have like COINTELPRO, like you think about it, like why would the United States government take Bloods and Crips as being a threat to their existence? That's the question. Why is it a threat to their existence? It's a threat to their existence because they saw the seed. They saw the seed for foundation and for black government and black unity inside of their country. So the very, very smallest thing, the ugliest thing, a gang, they set bombs to it. They dropped heroin on the corners of South Central, which used to look like Hollywood, California. They actually implemented the first gangs which kept us out of their communities. They took all the schools, banks, and grocery stores out of the community of what is called Compton now. If you Google and look at the pictures of Compton back in the day, I believe Game did a documentary on it, but he could only do so much because of of the TV. But when you do it on your own and you look at it, if you look at Oak Cliff, right? Because I've been to Oak Cliff and I was like, wow, it's kind of like Brooklyn in the 80s, it's real bad. But if you Google Oak Cliff back in the day, oh, it was beautiful. So you have to look at it when we come together, and like my brother said, the love, and he was talking about agape love. That's what speaks about in the Bible. It talks about the agape love. It's unconditional love, no matter what you do. And my mother taught me that. She said, I don't like you, but I love you. And her telling me that she didn't like me, it hurt my feelings, broke me down. I'm like, why you don't like me? She said, I don't like what you do, but I love you because you're my son. And that's the attitude that we should take on. Take on, like, no matter what you do, no matter what you did, I love you because you're my brother. I don't like what you did, but hey, you know what? I screwed up too, son. And people gave me a chance, so I'm going to give you a chance. And when we look at it as this, right, taking different sectors, now you got my brother right here, he do sports. Other brothers in here, Arthur, my man right here, he do real estate and banking. These are all different things that we could put together. Right now, in this room right now, just with my mindset and where I've been, man, we got 4 nations in here right now. It's 4 nations in here right now. And whether the brother know it right here in the back, he the source, he the bank. He the bank. If anybody done played dice, the most powerful man on there is the bank. He the bank. But you know what'll stop us? Because we don't trust the man, we don't know the man. But if we gave that man our money, right? And then we got with the investors of real estate, of speak your mouth, you speak your mind, productions, and all these different things, go to the bank. I was listening to 50. 50 said, like, you want to know when you making money? When you ain't got to do nothing and it just come to you. And he said he stopped showing up on his show Power because he said, in the beginning you see me, But then you don't see the transition because I made a deal that I killed myself off the show because I could just sit back in my living room and just watch me make money. And you gotta understand the mentality. I'm from where the brother from. I'm not from Queens, I'm from the Bronx, New York. But the mentality is when you look at it, Black Wall Street and all these things, you gotta understand, brothers, they came not only from us, but you gotta understand they came from the worst part of us. Think about that. The lottery systems came from the worst part of us. Like we was broke down doing numbers. We sleeping in tenement buildings and they stealing these ideas. So the worst part of us became the best of them. Think about that. The worst part of us became the best of them. So what happens when the best part of us comes out? They can't duplicate it.
That's right.
They can't.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like as just the black race in general, we're so driven to educate ourselves because we always say that is something that they did not teach us properly. So we press to educate, continue to climb, continue to evolve. But we're doing that with nothing, and I'm about to say a swear word. We are educated as hell and don't own shit. We own something, but we don't own anything that will cause somebody to cash in to build a legacy with. Why is that? Why is that the fact that when you think of everything that this man just said, and you look at everybody in this room, you have the ability to have whatever it is you want to have. What and who are you waiting on to make a move?
Trust that. It's fear, trust, all that. We want to admit that it's fear, but it actually really is fear. A lot of it, because when you look at, the opportunities and stuff that we have, as you mentioned, we have all the education in the world. Everybody has been dropping knowledge. Everybody been listening to, everybody been dropping their own pieces of knowledge, all these nuggets that we're getting. But for some reason, it's a fear factor that's there, and it's a trust that we don't have with each other that's keeping us from making that move. That's something I've actually been focused on lately. It's like, the education is there, we know it. If I need to get the information, I can call Andre. I can call, Gloria, this brother right here. Everybody's giving knowledge, but who's gonna make a move? I wanna put myself out there, make that move, so that way, whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish, whatever I'm trying to do, can move in that direction to get done. But the problem is that it's the fear factor. We don't want to admit it, but that's the biggest thing that's happening. It's fear that's keeping us from wanting to move forward.
You know what I'm telling you too, man, in addition to that, when we talk about education, I think it's important. It's something that I'll be having, it's going to be called At the Feet of Elders, okay? But that's just going to be part of the ministry. But anyway, and at the feet of elders, and the reason why I think that's important is because, we can go to school, we get education, but at the same time, when our elders leave here, there's certain information we're not going to be able to get out of books. There's certain information you're not going to be able to YouTube or Google it. You're only going to get it from sitting at the feet of our elders and them being able to pour into us relationship, how they build relationships, what a man is, what a woman is, what a wife does. So I think that's going to be very important. And going back to what Dee was saying earlier, no, nobody's going to put their money in right now. It's going to take us sitting down several times. It's going to take us getting back together, meeting again, maybe going out or having something or whatever the case is, where you actually come up with a collective agenda and say, okay, look, this is what we want to do. Because it's men, and I think really it's alpha men, you're not going to keep coming and hear people talk. You don't do that. That's why a lot of times you don't have a lot of men in church, because a man don't want to go and come and let you just keep talking to me. You gotta, what are we gonna do, man? It's 10,000 of us up in here. What we gonna do? So it ain't just, but anyway, I don't want to get into that level. But the thing is, men are not gonna keep coming and sitting down and sharing unless we're sharing for a purpose, for an end result. We all collectively say, hey man, look, let's buy this little 7-Eleven, or let's do something. Where then we start coming really with, you coming more with, you're coming enthused. Then you start saving your own money, because you may not have a lot, but shoot, they say I gotta put down on $1,500.
I'm gonna save my $1,500 to put in, or I gotta put my $2,000 to help with this tailor business. And I get 1% or whatever the case is, where you collectively do that, then you're gonna start having a relationship. Now it's something we can commit to collectively. And we locked in. I'm confined to this thing just like you confined to it.
Okay, we have Ty over here. Hold on, just set the camera to you. When the guy, before you start speaking, if you can kind of let them get to you, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right, Ty Ordwan again. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and well, actually I've been talking to everybody. Where's our power? Right? So the Jews know that their power is economic. They know their power. You don't hear like someone standing on being Jewish. You don't really hear that much. But you know where their power is. They own the radio stations, they own the recording companies, they're actually the ones who are getting the money. We see the artists, we see the egos, but where does the real money go? To the producer, to the owner of the record label, right? Okay, so where's our power as a people? Our common goal is, our common ground is we're black. Gay, atheists, Islam, Baptists, whatever. Malcolm X said, leave your belief system at home. Our common ground is we're black, right? So leave your belief system at home and let's figure out, I know where our power is. If everybody doesn't know what it is, it's economic. Look how much of the gross domestic product we make up and see how much of the population we are. Very low on the population, very high on the gross domestic product. So that means we're spending more than anybody else is. So if we're spending more than anybody else is and we're funding everything that they want, then man, if somebody ever touched my money, I guarantee you I'm gonna find out that day from payroll or whoever it is, the guy that's in control of my money, where my money and when is it coming, right? Nobody plays with their money, food, money, family, right? Nobody messes with those three, especially money, because those are connected to everything else. So our power is economic. So once we realize that our power is economic, now I want to know what the plan is, okay? So all this stuff, they killing us, right? They killing us. Man, ain't nobody hearing you with no sign talking about I can't breathe. That's great, you can't breathe. Anybody doing anything? So I want to hear something from these big economists or whoever, these people with the economic brain power in our community that know money, that says, okay, this is our power, and who's not scared to speak up, this is our power. Okay, well, how do we bring them to the table? Because otherwise they're not gonna sit at the table if you're not talking money and power.
Just 1 second, Trini, we got brought in.
I started, when you got started, I was talking about how we grow up in the hood, we don't trust each other. That's all we've been talking about is trust. We don't trust each other. I come through the city, y'all. I'm from Oak Cliff, from the Grove. I grew up in this area, so I kind of know Dallas a little bit. And everything in here that I'm hearing is kind of what I expected when I came. I said, I'm probably going to be in a room with a bunch of brothers that we all kind of know the same stuff. We all probably come from the same areas. Most of us are probably middle-aged brothers, you know what I'm saying, where we know the world done changed, y'all. We got coronavirus going on right now. We don't know what's gonna happen. We got a president election coming up, this coming up end of this year. We've been in the 70s and the 80s. We know how the world has changed and evolved. So we are really like critical people right now on the earth right now, especially us men, because we can show the young men kind of how it used to be, but then we're not like old right now, but we're at a time and place of our age where, we're in our prime, and God has still got us here. It's a lot of brothers y'all know gone. It's a lot of brothers didn't make it, to see 50. I'm finna be 50, y'all. So it's a lot of brothers didn't get here. And so we have a situation, y'all, we have an image problem. God has been showing me that we got an image problem that we can fix. That's something that's not too big for us, y'all. We can fix our image. You know what I'm saying? And it's starting with what we're doing in here right now. But I'm starting to hear, like this brother was saying over here, we can't keep having these conversations. And just because I ain't, it's a Sunday, y'all. They say Sunday fun day. And y'all know, I'm sitting up here, it's a pretty day, and I'm like, man, y'all gonna have me cooped up in this room, you know what I'm saying, from 2 to 5. I'm like, man, that's, I can't get my time back. You know what I'm saying? That's it's gotta count, man. You know what I'm saying? So when we come together, it's a lot of things that we all know. And I appreciate the knowledge and information, you know what I'm saying, that we've studied, and we all know where we come from. We all know we're supposed to be doing better. But one thing came to my mind when everybody was talking, y'all. It's like, I probably ain't the smartest brother in the room, but like when you start talking about trusting, it's like investment clubs we can start. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got to come in with no $1,000. We can come in with $50. $50 a piece. Everybody just put in 50. And you learn to research stocks. It's probably some guys in here that understand stocks, you know what I'm saying, or know people that understand stocks, and we can get people to come in here and we can start putting our monies to work. You start talking about Black Wall Street, we can start small. And then we learning as we're going, and then we can eventually start splitting off, doing our own things and bringing other people to the table, as well.
Do something.
Talk I want this brother to repeat his question first before I respond. Because you had a really good one.
You said repeat my question?
Yeah. What were you talking about? Yes, sir. I want you to repeat that first.
Where is our power?
The power has always been with the Jews, and the African Americans, and the blacks, and the browns. We just always had to hide it. We just had to hide it. Our power is always, I can't give it to you. It's like I can play guitar like a motherfucker. Like a motherfucker. But they steal it. My power is in my fingers. My power is in my brain. It ain't in my fists. It's here. It's in my fingers. And they go and steal it and sell it. They sell my motherfucking dream and make millions of dollars. And I'm broke as shit. That's the American dream.
Freely, go ahead. This brother right here has something to say.
No, I just want to say again, this is a wonderful assembly of brothers here that basically you got diversity all across the board. You got from the hood to the from the whatever. But while I was sitting up and thinking, I was thinking about an article I read when we talk about economic power that Emmitt Smith reached out to Michael Jordan. Because, Jordan had already made his money powerful, and Emmitt said, you know what, I want to have that same power and wealth as well. And, when Emmitt reached out to Michael Jordan, and Emmitt said, well, why is it that other people don't know? And Michael Jordan in response said, well, they just had to come to me. Now, you can take that in a lot of different ways because, you know, Michael has the power. You know, anybody know Michael Jordan, you know Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. But the fact is, I can say, well, you know what, Mike, you know, you could have reached out and, you know, gave that knowledge and wisdom. And that's what I'm about to say. Knowledge and wisdom is so damn powerful that basically we need to use that the best way. I'm in the late 50s now, and my point in life right now, I passed 50. So, you know, when you pass that 50 club, it's up to me to give back to the young. And we got to do that because that's the gap is like the fact is your life is almost over when you pass the 50 to a certain degree. Mentally, you think like, okay, I got only so much time to live. But these young people, I mean, not just young boys, but also young girls, we got to teach them how to live. We got to teach them that, you know what, you go to school, you get the best education, don't let society tell you what to do. It's yours. It's your life. We can get any goddamn thing we want if you just have the knowledge and the power. Don't let nobody say you can't do this. You own this. This is our world. The world is beautiful how you make it. And I'm just saying, all you brothers here, when you leave this place, don't just like stop. You gotta get this, just keep it flowing. You reach out, each one teach one. I mean, that's a great, you know, saying, and we gotta continue that. That's the only way we're gonna make this continue going on. Because I know like the Black Lives movement right now, if it does not die, it gotta keep going. We gotta keep it going and going, because right now, we in a position to make this world our world. And I'm not just saying, you know, I'm racist whatsoever, but black is beautiful. I love being black. And I know every one of y'all love the same damn thing I like. Because the fact is, our parents was black, our ancestors was black. So it's up to us to just say, you know what? We can just drive this until we ain't here no more. And that's what we got to do. That's all I have to say.
I'm going to be real quick so you can get to it. But to answer your question directly, it's all about trust. Because I've been in, just like my brother over in the corner, I've been in a lot of these investment groups where we all came together. The opportunity was there. All we need to do was sign a check, put our money on the table, and buy properties. Came out of all those meetings, nothing ever got done because people we just did not trust one another. And the thing about it is, if we can't get past trust, you're never gonna do anything. A relationship starts with trust. If you can't get the relationship, if trust down, there's no relationship. So I've been to all these investment groups, and I just like the brother said, I don't like doing a lot of talking. I'm about action. If you want to do it, let's do it. We got enough brothers in here right now. If we all just put $1,000 on the table right now and hire our brother over here, Attorney Brown, right now we can go to Fort Worth or Oak Cliff or wherever and buy our properties right now and all have a business going and get our residuals sent to us in the mail. Simple as that. But that we have to be trustworthy one, and we have to be about it. Meaning, if I tell you that if you give me your money, I'm gonna give it back to you, I need to do that, you know, no matter what. So that creates, we have to have that type of trust.
Yeah, but like you said, that's still gonna be a process because obviously, you know, somebody got to bring something to the table that's worth the investment.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Hold on, we're gonna let this brother here and this brother, and then I'm gonna go on to Dr.
In the corner, you're a truck driver, right?
No, I do HVAC.
Oh, who's the truck driver? This brother right here? Both of y'all truck drivers? Just like he said, do y'all know the ins and outs of truck driving and on how to purchase big rigs and stuff like that? Ain't no reason why all of us in here shouldn't put our money together and go buy 10 rigs and put CDL drivers on the road and deliver groceries, deliver fruit. We ain't talking about your brother. We ain't talking about you right now. I'm talking about these two cats right here. I see an opportunity. I see an investment. That's what I see right now. That's what I see. See, it's all about having a vision. If you ain't got no motherfucking vision, then you probably don't need to be here. But these cats right here, that's money sitting right there.
Hey, let me tell you something. One thing I learned, power recognizes power of greater or equal force. Yeah. So if you come to a fight and somebody got a gun, you got a knife, you losing. But if you got a Uzi and the other person got a Uzi, you getting recognized. So when you start putting your monies together and you start coming together, then people will start seeing you as serious. Because money talks.
Right.
Okay, let's just brother over here, then we're gonna end with Dr. Woods. Did you have something to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay, man, I probably won't, this probably won't be, what everybody would want to hear, but the reality is, man, I sit in the corner me and Manchin and we done tried this, man, different things. But the truth be told, man, I'm so tired of hearing about them. We know what they did. At some point, we got to decide what we gonna do. If he got the book, we know systems are set up. I went to City Hall and I told them, man, I'm not mad at them. I got a problem with the system that's set up. Because if that's how the system is designed, that's what the system's supposed to do. When do we set up systems inside of our communities? Because also, I'm gonna be honest, I'm thankful to be here, but I don't wanna just talk about the people that's in this room, because my heart is in a different place as a pastor, a community activist, and a gang leader. There are young men in our community that need to see this picture. Like you said, I'm pretty sure that all of us are successful. But what about the young dude that don't know what it looked like to see a successful black man? At some point, we got to rise up and start going back to them for they can see us. And that's what I believe, because you asked a couple of questions and nobody really answered them. To me, you was like, it's a problem, we got the gap. What we going to do about fixing it? Nobody wants to admit, everybody in here can talk, but all of us have been hurt. And you can't trust each other until we start to help each other heal. Like, we gotta be men enough to be able to literally open up and say, man, you know what, I got a problem because this brother did this. Man, this brother did this, or this happened in my community like this way. But we won't ever deal with those things. And until we literally get open with ourselves and take that facade off, that mask, and because we all got pride, but we gotta be humble enough to say, in all actuality, bro, the reason I don't trust you and I'ma just use me, you know I used to be a hustler, right? You know I've been to prison. And let's be honest, there's some dudes in there that'll say, man, I don't know if I can trust my dude because he might get the money and go and do this. Well, bro, don't hold what I did in my past over me the rest of my life. Because if you do, our community ain't gonna never heal. And what's really scary, it's another young man that's in the streets right now that's just like me and Jerry, me and old man, that if somebody come and say something to him, not only just say it, but show him, because there go the word that we've been talking about, action. You know how many times we've talked and we've said, man, let's put money together, and once we put money together, we gonna do this. But I found out something, man, you can't expect folks that's hurting to invest when they need somebody to invest in them. So we gotta find a way to first build each other back up. I'm saying as black men. So before we talk about putting money together, let's talk about just coming together truly, getting to know each other, encouraging each other. I'm gonna find out what you just said, what's his vision? Let's find it out. And like you said, if it's to own 10 trucks, then we put money together and buy 10 trucks. But that might not even be his vision while we talking about buying 10 trucks. Then we would be wasting our money because we're gonna put pockets and we're gonna put money in pockets that got holes in them. Man, we gotta get to the point to where we help each other heal. We get to the point to where we know each other. And then my last word, because I'm sick of not seeing it, man, when we gonna get consistent? Like, when we gonna literally get consistent in our efforts? Like, when we not gonna do this just one time because a sister brought us together? When do we say as black man, you right, man, because I'm operating in Fort Worth in the city. Man, I'm so slick, people don't even know what I'm doing. But in a minute, they gonna look up and there's gonna be a gang of us there, because I believe, man, I'm gonna consistently work it. I'm gonna keep chipping. I'm gonna keep hitting. But what I'm also gonna do is when I make a hole and I can get in, man, I'm gonna bring somebody else. Like, when do we start bringing each other to places, man, that can literally build each other up and that can help each other? My name Rodney McIntyre, brother, I'm sorry. Yeah, and that's why I say, so, and it is, like I say, man, nothing against it, because I'm with you, bro. If we get to the point where we trust and we know, let's put $1,000. Let's put 10, whatever we gonna do that's gonna help us. But I don't want us to forget the people that don't look like, that's not successful like us. That's the thing that drives me for my community. I mean, I done been to protests and everything. There's a young generation that is saying what that brother said. Man, we gonna change this nation. What we gotta do is, how do we get behind them as an older generation and say, man, let's support them and push them? Because evidently they willing to do something we didn't do. We was too selfish. There go another word. We was too selfish. It's about me. It's about us. Them young dudes, I'm watching them, man, and when they protesting, man, ain't no Big I, ain't no Lil U. Man, they just want to see change in their country. And this is what's crazy. I don't care about change in this country. I want change in my community. Bro, Both of them Stop 6 Texas like my dude over there, like J.A. Calvin, bro. They just tore my projects down. I'm gonna be honest, I wanted my church right by the projects. Because in my mind, I say to myself, if I don't go back and get the people that look like me and lead them to a place that's different from where they are, man, my whole ministry worthless. Yeah. It's worthless. So at some point, we got to get to the point where, again, let's help each other heal, man. Like, I need some men, because you want me to tell you what's the trip? I don't know what it look like to be a daddy. Right? That's what I'm saying. Some people it's a lot of young men in our community don't know what it look like to be a father, because they ain't never seen them. Well, if you know what it look like to be a father, don't be scared of him because his pants sagging and he got a pistol. Go show him how to be a man. Right. There's some sisters out there that's looking for a father, that's looking for a husband. If you know what that look like, go get her and show her the way a man supposed to treat her. That's what our community need. Our community need people like us to say, man, I'm not afraid of these young dudes. I'm going to go back to these young men, and you know what? Each one teach one. Because you know what I hate, man? I heard it so much. They always told us this lie. The game is to be sold, not told. Man, the devil is a lie. If you don't teach me, I can't do nothing. What if I ain't got the money to pay for what I need? No, man, give me what I need so that I can give it to somebody else. Because, man, we passing down generational curses instead of generational blessings. That's what we need to do in our community, seriously. Nah, man, I grew up in the streets, man. They just called me to church. I don't know the same thing.
Okay, everybody. We getting kind of close to wrapping this thing up. I'm going to, you sure can?
Before, y'all, and I wouldn't plan on talking this much today, but I like what Rodney was saying over there, and I think, to me, I don't know how you're going to wrap it up, but I just want to suggest, I'll come back. I'll come back for another meeting, but I don't want to come back to talk.
Right.
I want to come back if we can come back and just have a meeting to see where we're going to go. Have some ideals. People bring back plans of actions, and we put something together. Because I don't have a problem trusting people who say they're coming in. Now, if you give me a reason not to trust, that's different. But I think, like brother said, this brother over here, isn't it Keith? He said the number one thing is to show up, and that everybody here got in their cars and they showed up. And we didn't show up because Gloria didn't talk about no money. She didn't say, okay, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that. She said, let's talk about some issues that's going on in the community. And that's why I came. I didn't even come here to think about any money. So, but in reality, that's really our problem, is that we do need to come together, because that's how we're going to build our wealth. Is we have to keep our monies within ourselves. We got to. And I promise y'all, man, there's people in here that know people. It's people that know people. And that, if some people that's got some pull here in this city, they see that there's 25 strong brothers that's done come together, they will come to listen. But they're not gonna come in here and listen to a whole bunch of mess, man. They don't wanna hear a bunch of mess. They'll come in here and see what we got going on. But we have to get an agenda, and we have to believe in it first.
Real quick. Sure, and then I'm gonna let Dr. Wood say something, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, if that's okay, because I have a drawing. And then
because this is all I want to say. Like, if we're gonna do, okay.
Hold on, they coming.
Yeah, and I ain't long now. All I would say, like, if we're gonna do this again, that's what I said. Let's also see if we can all try to reach some young men, 25 or under, millennial, and bring them with us. Turn this 25 to 50. We're not asking them to bring nothing. We just want to show them something, right? And that's the only thing I want to say. Can we all just to try to agree that we'll bring somebody else, man, that we know may need to be here?
I'm gonna say this. I appreciate you. I go to the Benz Correctional Facility for young boys in Dallas, Meadowbrook. 90% of them in there look just like y'all. And they cannot get one of you to come in there on career day and talk to them. I've been going for 5 years. 5 years. And when I go in there, I talk to them young men like I love them. When they leave and they got them lined up looking just alike in uniforms, you know what I see in their eyes? Damn, I wish you would have been in my life before I got here. They walk by me. They say, thank you. Thank you, Free. You coming back to see us, Miss Free? I said, I hope you're not going to be here. They laughing. I've bought them, every time I go, I buy them a journal. I get calls from the correctional facilities because they done wrote in them so much, they ask me, can I bring more? Those young black boys in there say to me, you're the only one coming here and talk to us and allow us to talk back to you. You're the only one coming here and bring us something. Man, they don't never bring us nothing. I don't want to hear about you talking about how good your life is. I can stand on these 4-inch heels because I come from the street. I know what it is to be broken. I know what it is to be a mother, a single mother, once married, a mother on her hustle. That's why I don't mind getting in front of you black men and telling you black men about yourself. Because I'm a black woman that believes in you. And I believe in the system that's broken. And I believe in my young black men where when I go in there and they see me talk to them and touch them, encourage them. When I ask them, what do you want to be in life? When I look at them and I say, I see you as a professor. I see you as a doctor. I see you as a lawyer. I see you as an architect. I see you as an engineer. I see you as a minister. I see you as a principal. Ain't nobody ever told them that, but they ain't gonna be shit. That's why I call this meeting today, because we got a problem, black men. And it can be fixed right now. Right here. In this room. The next circle of 25, let it be 25 more. And 25 more. And 25 more. It don't matter how young they are. I don't care if they can hear and understand, bring them. Huh? We'll find, I'll find one trust. I'll take it to a warehouse where ain't no seats in it. Bring your pillows and you can sit on the floor. You know why I call this a circle of 25? Because it's complete. Goes around and around in a circle. And the only way that we're gonna break generational curse cycle is it takes 1 through 25. That's it. Dr. Woods, and then I get to you.
Yeah, I think it's been a very enlightening meeting. I want to share a couple of things that I feel to kind of pull this together. It appears that the common issue that we're struggling with is that of trust. But I'd also like to say there's an issue of a history of our coming together like this, having this dynamic meeting, and after that it goes to nothing. Even if we have decided to invest $1 or $2, it still comes not to fruition for the most part. We also have a history as a people that we have always placed our social agenda before our economic agenda. Black church organizations, the gigantic Baptist associations where thousands of black people come together on a single city and enriching that city by millions, and the parishioners leave broke with nothing in return. And at those meetings, you have 1,000, 2,000 ministers dealing with topics to help the black church every year. And not one of those sessions, if you're lucky, deal with church economics or economics for the family or anything. And you spend millions every year. And then when it came to the politics, I love Dr. King, thank him for who he is. But Dr. King brought to America a social agenda. And in his last days, as he was beginning to address the economics, he was wiped out. We ought to learn from that, my brothers. We've been down the social track. That doesn't scare them. They'll give him a holiday. But when we start touching on the economics, and even in this wonderful meeting today, we started out addressing social issues. We didn't start out talking economics. You want to talk about the Jews? At the top of their agenda, economics. We need a paradigm shift, my brothers. We know the problem. We are pain. We don't have to feel pain. We represent pain. That's what slavery did to us. And it's not just about the money. Yet, no, we don't trust. But even if we raise the money, it's not just about the money. The Emmett Smiths and whatever, when they pulled over at night, they still a black man. Look how many millions they got. So it's not just the money. We still have some issues to deal with. So my recommendation is what I think the beauty of what I feel. I think, for instance, when you want to belong to a well-known social club, you join it because you anticipate benefits, and it adds to your status. What I think Gloria has done, if this sister went out and she picked out 25. Doesn't that in itself legitimize this group? If she trusts 25 men to come and deal with black issues, shouldn't that alone legitimize who we are? I certainly feel legitimized. I don't think there's one brother in here now that I can't trust, or they would feel very out of place right now. So my thinking is, wow, this is great. But the true power, you ask me, where's the power? The power, is it just in the money? Or is it in how we utilize the money? In a capitalistic society, it's not just the money. You know who's making it in America today? Political action committees that have money. If we want to impact the black kids, if we want to be able to go in and just make a difference for black kids, we need to be able to impress upon the institutions with the money, we've got the clout. Give up the money. And how do we do that? Not by just having the money, but being who we are. A solidified group of black professionals who are going to take care of business. So if you don't give us the money, we're going to get it anyway. If you don't respect our agenda, whatever empire you have will topple. And that needs to be the goal. And we must be visionaries, and we must maintain. Why do we let up off the pedal? Because if we start an investment club and think we're going to make a little money, we might ease up. But no. But if our goal is to transform the community, long term, yeah, we can have positions and start grooming the young folks to take our places as we grow. So I see it as a twofold measure. And so I think, but we must change our agenda. And whining and crying, we've done enough of that. That gets us nowhere. We are all in pain. But Marvin Gaye put out a song about voting. Lord, how many? 40 years ago. And in the midst of that song, he said, has got to vote for you. And he said, economics. He didn't say it's an issue. He says economics is the issue. And that's where we have to go. And as I mentioned at the forefront, we're always in competition. But when we can reverse that and become, unified is the issue, no matter what. If one goes down, we all go down. Brothers have the capacity for that, but we haven't trusted each other to that point. Why not now? Why not right now? And I'm like the brothers, man, I'm ready for some action too. And I always feel terrible when I come to great meetings like this, and in the back of my mind I'm saying, well, that was that. It sure did feel good. It sure did feel good.
For a moment, right?
It's gonna take 5 more years to get another one. But if I could leave here today, knowing that I could look this brother in the eye and say, I'm gonna see you next time. I'm gonna see you next time. And I'm gonna see you next time. If I can walk out of here, man, this room ain't big enough for my head when I walk out of here. And that's what I believe we all came here to do. We will invest 3 hours if it will give us the feeling that it was 3 hours that will change the rest of our lives. And I believe that can be done.
Yeah, I'm getting with you guys.
Well, he was.
Yeah, he was.
I was gonna say how again. I'm Linda Nixon again, guys, and I'll just say I'm committed. I'm committed to a lot of things. I'm committed to my family. I'm committed to the frat. I'm committed to the Big 12. I'm committed to General Motors. Right? We talked about trust. I feel that it challenges all. If you want to just be real, are you gonna trust? I just listed all these things I'm committed to, and I'm gonna step on out. I'm committed to all y'all right now, 100%. I'm all in. We're gonna figure something out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the agenda is. We're gonna have a different type of Sunday fun day, and we're gonna figure it out and do something positive. But as far as I'm concerned, this Circle of 25 is my new set of friends, and I look forward to finding out more about y'all. I look forward to the trust growing when you come to my house and break bread at my table, smoke a cigar in the backyard with me, knowing that we share that common bond. Knowing that we share that common bond where, we're gonna hit the weights together and make something and win the championship. We're gonna figure out what it is that we wanna do, and together, I think we can get that done. And I ain't trying to talk about it, I wanna be about it.
Absolutely. Well, we have everybody's information, and I want to make sure that everybody gets everybody's information. I just need everybody's okay.
Hey, Glo, before you finish, is this video gonna be accessed to everybody?
Well, yes, I'm going to send it to everybody. Once it's done editing and everything, everybody will get the video and pictures. So. Yeah. Okay. Well, time is winding up.
I started the donation for everything else.
Yeah, you sure can.
Hey, you got a birthday. You got to put it in the bucket or something. How about this? Put it in